Next. This Wednesday, from 6 to 8 p.m., there's a meeting at the City Council to discuss the desalination plan. It's 2 hours from 6 to 8 p.m. And because it's sort of relevant to the water unit, I've made it into a 2-point extra credit Green Club event. You sign in, you sign out, and they will give you a paper that you fill in while you're sitting in the audience. Are there any questions about that? What?
Can we go if we went this weekend?
Yeah, because this is for Unit 8. But this weekend was for Unit 7. Praise. Anybody else? Check the Bookface group for the Green Club. They have all the details on there. You have to RSVP so they can save you a seat. You have to be on time. I will not have my name making people in the city council annoyed. So you must be on time. You will not receive credit, and the Green Club will violently kick you out for making me look like an a-hole in front of the city council. I know those people. I ask them for money sometimes, so think carefully about being late. Do we have any other questions about the thing about the Facebook thing, the Green City Council thing? If you receive extended time at Santa Barbara High School for some reason, whatever reason, the College Board might give you extended time on the AP test, but it's not automatic. All my students show up and they're like, but I'm at the high school and I get extra time. And they'll go, too bad. And you don't get extra time on the AP test unless you get the right paperwork at the counseling office. Anybody want to confirm that? Counseling office, I think? Ask your counselors. So how to get the accommodation information for the College Board, please look up. That deadline is this Friday, and they will not negotiate. So if you want extended time, you have until Friday to turn in the paperwork. Want to ask you something about that? Next. Would anybody like to eat some snow peas? They're pretty awesome. I have a lot. Come and get them now. Yeah, Gabby. Gabby's going big, not ashamed.
Who said
anybody else?
I see one right there.
Last chance. Okay. Too bad. You like them? Pretty tasty, right? Oh my God, Gabby, now be quiet. You got 3 handouts in the back. Let's check out a few things. Please grab the Dissolved Oxygen Lab. Read the 3 sentences at the top in the introduction. James Mel, I hate your cell phone. I'd like to smash it with my feet, but I'm afraid it would cut me.
Wear shoes.
After you read the introduction to the Dissolved Oxygen Lab, put it on your head to show me you're done. After you read the introduction, put it on your dome piece. Dang, these are good. That is sweet like San Ruggieri. You heard right, buddy. All right, now. Is Hawks absent? She's going to be late. You want to say something or no? You're just saying she a lot.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, fine. She'll just be late. And Jacob too, huh? Unrelated coincidence? I think not. This lab is actually kind of a serious lab because the timing is very sensitive. You need 3 things in your pre-lab due Friday. Please look up. Materials, preparation procedure, and testing procedure, and data collection. In other words, that plus 1 through 8 plus 1 through 6. That's due Friday. Mark my words. The one group that's all knuckleheads, that doesn't do their homework very carefully, they're going to get to the end and go, wait, we were supposed to, something they forgot. And then they're going to go, oh, and they're not going to get any results. And then I'm going to make fun of them. And I'll either make them come in at lunch, or they won't get credit for the lab. Happens every time. Don't be the knucklehead. Yeah.
When you say due Friday, do you mean just the Friday of the one?
Pre-lab.
Okay.
Yeah, pre-lab. The write-up of all the things. Yeah. Anybody else? Material and procedures? Nobody wants to ask for anything? You can put that away. Take out your field trip packet.
Feels good. Whoa. My child gets high grade doctor student.
Please look up. There are 2 papers. The one on top in English and Espanol. Then the one in the back, the bus ticket that you send around all your teachers to sign. Please look up. If your parents speak English, use the front side. If your parents prefer Spanish, use the back side. You fill out the part that has an arrow, like right there and right here. I made it easy for you with the arrows. Then on the last page, please look up. You'll see 2 arrows. See my heavy metal right there? The 2 arrows. The student number and the pupil name. Please go down to period number 2. Your class is apes. Your teacher is Jose. And where I would usually sign it, just write Jose again. In the period 2 box, you write apes, Jose, Jose. If you can't spell my name, I hate you.
So it's spelled H-O-E.
I order plumbing supplies from a bunch of Quakers in Pennsylvania. And no matter how many times I spell my name, they always send the boxes to H-O-S-E-A. Hosea. And I tell them, no, actually, like it says on my credit card, J-O-S-E. And they go, okay, Hosea. We'll fix it this time. They're like so nice. Please look up. The medical release form is due on Friday. You'll need the teacher signature slip to get on the bus. That's your bus ticket. In case your teachers are suspicious, this is actually a real curricular field trip. We do actual science stuff on this one. We will start at Rocky Rattlesnake Trailhead. Rattlesnake Trailhead. And then we go to like a couple of different spots, like Rocky Nook and like Oak Park, and then like down to the ditch where you can ride where you used to be able to ride skateboards by the hospital. And then we go to the Mission Creek River mouth over by the pier. And then if we have enough time, we get a little lunch break at the beach, and if we don't, we don't. And then from there, we go to the wastewater treatment facility, and the fart smell will permeate every pore in your body and every follicle of hair, and you will smell the wastewater treatment fart odor for days to come. And then we come back right to the start of period 6.
We have to go period 6?
Well, I don't care about that, but you're excused 1 through 5.
Wait, this is what time is that
Exactly,
like approximately? Is it what?
exactly 2:03 p.m.
On the
Count
dot.
on it, I promise. I give you my word. I swear on your mother's grave.
Alright.
I don't know, like, we get back, like, sometime around 1:50
The one
to,
guy.
yeah, ish. Anybody want to ask me anything about the field trip this next Monday? It's actually pretty awesome. Like, I'll just tell you, like, usually I enjoy it. I invite my TAs to go with me because they usually did it last year, and it's kind of like a relaxing, beautiful day. Okay. Anybody want to talk about either one of those? Then please take out your water use inventory. If you could not get a water bill, you'll have to copy information from somebody else, I don't care who. Please look up. Over here. Please look up. A little while ago, you circled the usage in HCF. Take that number. Multiply it by 748. Hurry up. Take your usage in HCF and multiply it by 748. If you don't have a water bill, copy from someone else now, please. Hurry up. Now that you have your usage in gallons, good story or no good story?
No,
Why are you all out of breath?
I just slept past my alarm.
Okay. Now that we have your usage in gallons, write it down somewhere. Like at the top of your paper, you might see where you have to write it down. And then take your water cost. Remember the thing that we found? It might have been called the water service for many of you. Take your amount paid for water and divide it by the usage in gallons. take your price, paid for water service, and divide it by your usage in gallons. When you have that number, put your calculator or cell phone on top of your head and leave it there. You may want to hold it. Or not. I'm waiting. Take your time, but I'm waiting.
Do you want the amount of water used in gallons or is it on that first?
Gallons. Usage in gallons. Right here. Look at me because it's total cost divided by usage in gallons. Now, students, when I point at you, you tell me how much you are paying per gallon. 0.0112.
0.0092.
0.009.
0.0093.
Yeah.
0.0093.
Yeah.
0.012.
Yeah.
0.00.
Uh-huh.
0.0093.
Uh-huh.
0.0013.
Wait, what?
That's
Oh, yeah, because you live, San Marcos Crowd Club.
it's like 1.3 per thousand.
We got to talk more about that. Yeah.
0.018.
0.018. Everybody notice that one. When I go up there, I want both of you to butt in about a minute after I finish this part. How much?
0.0092.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
0.01.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
0.014.
0.014. 0.013, you said? Both of you? These are 0.014?
Yeah, 0.0076.
007? Where do you live?
Point 011.
0.011.
0.0095.
009.
0.0078.
You live next to her?
Nope. I live like Lower Riviera.
Weird. Oh wait, do you live close to the water things over like at the base of Gibraltar?
The chef you live in?
Where do you live?
Like 2 minutes that way on the Grand Avenue.
I know, Grant. Okay. 0084, yeah?
0.009.
009. 00 what? 9. Alright, so almost everybody is in this price range right here. Please look up. You're paying right around a penny per gallon. Unless you pay extremely much. The most paid for water is James Mel. I've been to his house. James Mel is on top of a hill. Can anybody imagine why his costs more?
The energy it takes to push it.
Right. The variance in your water service is not really the cost of the water. The variance is how much it takes to move it. So those of you that are like 11 or 12, my hunch is somewhere between you and the water supply there's a hill. Maybe you're on that hill. And then some of you are in the 0.08, maybe even 0.07? 0.007? Those would be like really close to the water sources. You might even notice that you can like see the water source from your home. But Bobro, give me those numbers again.
0.00133.
0.00133. He pays almost a tenth of what you pay. He pays about a penny for like 9 gallons, 8.5 gallons. Anybody know how this communist gets his water so cheap? Not Lake Chuma. How do you get water so cheap?
I can walk to my water tower.
Yeah.
No
There's
water
no
tank.
source of water.
We have like 30 houses in our neighborhood. We all get supplied by 2 water towers by like a private water company.
Yep. I had the same sort of arrangement when I lived on the mountain. I used to live uphill from Homeboy, so his water is my urine, actually. That's a nice thought. The way it works up on the mountain is you and your neighbors get together and you make a hole in the ground and you operate a well and you put an electricity box that runs that pump, and everybody splits the price of the electricity at that pump, plus the price of the monthly or bi-monthly or quarterly bacteria test, where somebody drives up and they take like a gallon of your water and they drive it away and then they go, okay, no bacteria, you can proceed. That's what it actually costs to run a very, very small water thing. His water is so localized that pretty much he's drinking the water that's under his dirt. The rest of you, you're paying for the plumbing. So you're paying to operate Lake Kachuma or Gibraltar or City Wells. You're paying for like infrastructure and plumbing and plumbers and people that do stuff. Home is literally just paying for the water. Now, by the way, if you still have your phones out, just put them away. You will need to complete the water use inventory. Please look up. These are the average usage per minute or per use or per meal or per flush or per sprinkler in gallons of household activities. Take a minute to look at this table, please. Take a minute to peruse that table. As an example, please look at the shower at the top there. You see how it says shower per minute, estimated gallons 4 to 10? Well, if you have one of those like hyper efficient, they're about that big shower heads that they have at all the gyms. You know what I'm talking about? Like public showers at the beach, where the water comes out at extremely high pressure, and if you look at it, it pushes your eyeball down your throat, and it like stings. It's like finely aerosolized at like 1,000,000 miles per hour, like blasting your skin off. Okay, that's the 4 gallons per minute shower head. If you have like a pretty average, like adjustable, like maybe with the little thingamabobber washing your butt, like the removable handheld ones, those are pushing about 10 gallons per minute. And if you happen to have one of the top secret, I bribed my plumber, they're like flat, and they're like the rain simulation ones, don't tell anybody, but yours is probably 20 to 40 gallons per minute. If you want to find out, it's very easy. This is my daughter's science project. It's very easy. These are called 5-gallon buckets, and if you don't have one, I'll rent you one. And you take a 5-gallon bucket, and you tell your little sister or your butler or whatever, start the timer now. And you check to see how long it takes to fill a 5-gallon bucket with your shower. 10 seconds, 40 seconds. And then you multiply by whatever it takes to get to a minute, and that's how many, you know what I'm saying? So if it takes 15 seconds, that's 20 gallons per minute. This is a 5-gallon bucket. Everybody got that? Figure out how long it takes to make 5 gallons with your shower? If you have one of those big old like flat ones that simulates rain, usually those have removed the little tiny flow governor thingamabobber. Most modern showers do not do this at home. But if you unscrew the shower head from the spout and you look on the inside, they'll have a little white piece of plastic with a teeny little hole, like pencil, like somebody went in a little white piece of plastic, like a little tiny hole. Pop. That's what you shower with, because we in California have water efficiency laws. But some of you say these laws don't apply to my house, and you paid the plumber to go and pull that thing out. So you get a full blast shower, which are really nice. I love. Back when I lived on the mountain, Because, yeah, there's groundwater going back to the ground. I don't feel bad. Yeah. No, you go. No. Then, please look at the back. Look at that top sentence. For shared activities like washing clothes, calculate your share of the household water usage. So if you wash your clothes with everybody in the family, find out how often they wash clothes, and then divide by the number of people in your family. The stuff you do together, you divide by the number of people in the family. Like watering the lawn, if you're one of 4 people, you're a quarter of the lawn water. And even if you don't care about filling the pool, you're a quarter of the pool water, or whatever. But the stuff you do by yourself, like I'm just going to assume shaving probably, for example. I don't mean to judge, just assuming. Then those are your own calculations. The shaving one, for example. And then you'll add all that up. Please look up, there are different headings for the amount you use per use, or per day, or per week, and the cost per gallon, the cost per week, and the cost per year. I hope you know how to do the math. Multiply by 7 the daily to get the weekly. Multiply by 52 to go from weekly to annual. And you will probably identify your share of water. Please look at your water cost. My house, we usually pay about $18 to $30. We irrigate a small garden. When we're not watering the garden, we drop to about 18 or 20 bucks for water. That's a 4-person house. We do laundry like it's going out of style. Like at least once a day, sometimes 3 a day. Because my children, they basically are created to ruin clothing. If you're paying a lot more, that's probably because you're watering outside. Anything over 40 bucks is almost certainly not the inside water usage, or you have a leak. My toilet had a leak. My mom found it. We were paying 95 bucks a month for 3 months in a row. She pays the water bill, and then I pay her back. She's like, Jose, I was doing the math, and it looks like your water bill is really high. What could that be? And I'm like, how high? And she said, 95 bucks a month. And I was like, And we checked, and the toilet had a silent leak. You know, the flapper valve that shuts off the tank that you guys don't know how toilets work, huh? Okay, so when you take off the lid inside the toilet, there's that like rubber thing that's held in place with a little bar, a little chain, a little thing in the water. Okay, so my thing wasn't seating right. It was like sideways. Yeah, $95 a month at my place just because it was a little bit sideways. It wasn't even enough that you could hear it. It was just like a quiet little trickle. Yeah?
I was going to say for a while ours was like that you just have to jiggle the handle and you could hear when it was running, it just like make a quiet noise and
yeah. Yep, so these are leaks. These are leaks, that's what we're paying for. Did you see how much your leak cost you? They were talking about this with your folks? Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. That's just leaving the water running, like literally just like if you had your faucet just running. Yeah.
Remember that? It was like $120 for a leaky sprinkler.
Leaky sprinkler? Yep, I believe that. I believe that. If anybody has a really big leak, it could be $200-300. Like if you break a sprinkler line underground, like if a truck drives over a sprinkler line out somewhere, and it's like full pressure 1-inch pipe, you could go $300, $400, $500 and not notice that one. Does anybody here have a big old lawn that they irrigate? Like anybody paying more than $100 for water? Lawn? Yes? Lawn?
2 little ones.
2 little ones?
Not really.
No lawn? You pay over $100?
We have fake grass. And then we have plants that.
Are you watering the fake grass?
No.
Okay. Does everybody in the house know it's fake? Okay.
Yeah.
But you water other stuff? How much you pay about?
103.
How many people live in your house?
It's just electricity bills.
I know, it's like my electricity.
Like extreme shower? Do you guys like like 7 showers a day? Gotta bang this one out? Like a lot of showers? You gotta be watering something.
We have a waterfall, but it's reusable.
You know, but those evaporate water, and so waterfalls have a lot of evaporation, and so there might be like a little faucet open to replace that.
No, because we fill it up like once, like every 2 weeks.
So you actively fill it, and somebody has to look and go, gotta add water to the fountain?
Yeah, but it's not like every day or like every week.
There's another water use you're not thinking about. Because for 3 people, like even if those are 20-minute showers and somebody's got like a laundry obsession, that's not $100. Yeah.
We don't really have that big of lawns.
You know, everybody's like, it's not that big, but that's how big it is. How much does it cost?
109.
How big is your lawn compared to this classroom? Do you know how often the sprinklers run?
I think in the mornings for a tiny bit.
Daily?
Yeah.
109. Yeah.
Our lawn's only like 15 square feet.
So much smaller than this classroom?
Like,
But you have trees, right? You water those trees?
yeah, I guess. Well, like that whole.
Do you or don't you?
Yeah.
Yes. That might be it. That might be it. How much are you talking to your place?
337.
That's a lot, bro.
It also pays over double anyone else's cost for the water.
Yeah, right. So let's assume that we adjust your water cost to your delivery charge. That's still more than $150 at her house. That would be a good little bit of irrigation, probably.
Well, it's like, you think we irrigate like the whole. We have like 4 acres of that hill.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that didn't look irrigated. But I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, if you were watering a lawn and all that, easily more than that price. Yeah.
What about like, is it the same if you're watering a lawn as just like smaller plants?
Okay, so here's the deal. It's not really about how big your lawn is. It's about how much water the square footage uses up, right? Like, you could have a big old lawn, and if it happens to be pretty wet soil that's kind of like shaded and breezy and has some groundwater part of the whatever, you don't necessarily have to water it a lot. The thing is that lawns in particular use sprinklers. And sprinklers evaporate about 90% of the water before it can soak into the ground. Because sprinklers, whatever they spray into the air, most of that turns to water vapor, given friction in the air. And then a lot of the rest is very fine droplets that land on the blades of grass, and each blade of grass will evaporate most of that water instead of running down to the ground. So the problem with lawns is trying to get the dirt wet using sprinklers. Homegirl's house, they spray in the morning, less windy, less heat, more likely to get into the ground. You understand what I'm saying by that? But really, there's a lot of room for variation. If you got like crazy ass sprinklers that are watering the neighbor's garage, if your sprinkler's like pointed out into the street, and then the newspaper boy hates your house, if your sprinklers run at like 4 in the afternoon when it's all breezy and also 110 degrees, you can imagine that would use like 1,000 times more water. So one thing you can all do is talk about the decisions your mommy and daddy are making about that lawn. You can get rain sensors so you don't water the sprinklers when it's raining. That's one of my favorites. Like when you drive around in the morning and you have your windshield wipers on and some jackass is watering the lawn with his sprinklers, like, okay, rain sensor. I mean, rain sensor costs like $19. Okay, so it's going to take a couple months to pay for it. But seriously, like, that's just ridiculous. It's bad for your dirt. Like, to say it's like not good for you to do that. Kills your lawn. So you can use a rain sensor. You can use moisture sensors. There's smart computers that have like a little probe you put in the ground. It's like a remote thermometer, like what you use on a turkey. And you put that remote water sensor into the ground, and so the sprinklers only run when the dirt has dried out enough. Those are kind of cool. There's a lot of details about how you design the sprinklers. So you can make like friendly sprinklers that spray more carefully. And so there's like nerds that'll spice up your irrigation, and that's free. You can call the city and they come over and they go, hey, you can do this and you can do that and you can, and they give you a checklist, and it's free. Just so you know, like with the water savings at your house, you might be able to get like your gas money paid for or your car insurance or something. Say, hey mom, if I could save you $50 on water, would you cover my gas? And for a lot of your moms, they do the math and that's a good idea. Just so you know, that's free. You call the city of Santa Barbara, get a free water checkup. And they just come over, like when you have you like scheduled it with them, and they walk through your house, and they drop these little blue tabs in your toilet to see if you have one of those secret leaks. If you can fix all the leaks in your house and you're not wasting a lot of water outside, it usually costs about $5 to $10 per person in water total. That's using pretty much more water than you need. That's like however much showering you want and tons of laundry and like leaving the faucet running when you brush your teeth. Most of you cost about $5 to maybe $10 of water per person in a house. I'm not even judging your houses. If you have like a crazy opulent house with like a fancy shower thing, $10 per person is high. Anything you're paying over that, you might be able to fix up. Check out your water bills. If you have the color one, can I hold this up? If you have the color one like this, you might want to look at that bar graph. Gray was last year, blue is this year. So you can compare how you're doing compared to last year. Most houses in Santa Barbara have gone way down, so the gray bars are tall and the blue bars are low. And that might tell you how much you were wasting on the lawn back when you were watering it more. You have that? Can I see yours?
Well, it's not. It doesn't show it on the graph actually, but it says in the numbers. Like this month, last year.
Tell me.
So this month for this year it was 12 HCF, and last year it was 19.
Okay, there you go. That's like a good, 70% or something. Yeah.
Last year we were, my house burned down.
Yeah.
Doing construction. So last year we used like over 50, and this year it's like 24.
Wow. I wonder what happened that they were using so much. Maybe they had to water the roads to keep the dust under control.
I don't know.
Interesting. Maybe they're mixing concrete up there for the driveway or something.
Probably the same.
Huh. Curious. Yeah.
Last year mine went from like 8 to like 31 HCF. for
Wait.
February.
Last year was 31,
Last year was 8.
and now it's 31. Everybody in his
No, but it
house.
doesn't make any sense because my January was like 16, now my February is 31.
Could just be a leak, dude. Check those toilets. Take food dye. Like we put into like cupcakes. What do you use food dye for? I don't know. Take the lid off your toilets. Put in 4 drops. Wait 5 minutes. If there's color in the bowl, you have a leak. Because the stuff in the tank should be staying in the tank. Should not be going into the bowl.
Wait, if there's color in the actual toilet, like you put it in the bowl and then you put it in the
Everybody stop! There are 2 parts. The bowl, which is the target for your feces, and the tank, which is on top. It has a lid. It's rectangular. No feces in there. Bad. 2 parts of the toilet. The tank, no feces. The bowl, feces.
You can drink the water.
I know! I knew it wasn't working right. Yeah. It's so awkward to poop in that rectangular part. Anybody ever tried that? It's like a worm. It's got to miss the pipe. You can take the lid off the top and put like 5 drops of food dye into the tank. And if you just leave it alone, that tank should have color in it, but that should not be in the bowl.
Until you flush it.
until you flush it, and that's where the water comes from. It's not Jupiter, it's that tank. And so, when you flush it, then all that blue or red should come into the bowl, and the tank should be clear now because you've replaced all that water. But, if you add dye to the tank, and that dye is seeping into the bowl, you have a leak. And that's very easy to fix. You can get free ink tabs. They give you free pills when you get one of these free water checks. So they'll come and they'll check your sprinklers, they'll check all your faucets, they'll check your shower heads to see if your parents bribed the plumber. And then they'll give you the free color things to put in the tank. Yeah?
What if you don't have a tank? Why so isn't that a tank? It just comes out.
Is it an outhouse?
No. It just like comes out of the wall.
Oh, bro, I don't know. Dude, your house is magic, dude. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. What? Everybody shut up! Change the mouth.
If you did bribe the guy in your shower, because the guy.
You think you've heard of someone who might have done that?
Will,
Uh-huh.
would I get in trouble if you got one of those water checks?
Not if you get the water check, but if you get a code inspector, yeah. So if you're doing any construction where they happen to notice that, then you can really, yeah.
Just like the check.
Everybody goes, "Ooh." Yeah, no, the water check, no, they either won't notice or they'll be like, just so you know, you're the reason that Santa Barbara's in a drought. Yeah. Doesn't make you feel really bad. Yeah. Unless you have no soul, then it doesn't matter, right? Well,
All my other months have like 10 HCF, and then May and July have like 30, and then June has 70.
so those are the hot months at the beginning of summer. Maybe somebody was installing new. Were they putting in sod that time? Did they put in a new lawn? Those are the first hot months of the year, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, most of my months have like 10 HCF, but then May has just 1, and July has 1 also. But we're gone most of July, so you can see July, but May, they just have 1.
Who knows? Maybe they just messed up the water reading. Now I want everybody to look at something really quick. We still have 2 minutes and I want to use them. Look, if you had to fill this up at your house, it would cost you right around 1 penny, because this is a gallon. Now, instead, you can go to the concert and buy this for $7, or you can go to the airport and buy it for $4, or you might get lucky at Vons and get it on sale for $1.29. But this is a quarter that much water. At your house, this would cost about a quarter of a penny. So if you have some really good tin snips, you can cut a penny into quarters, and that's what you're paying. Here's the one difference. One of these is certified drinking water quality. The other one is just tap water. Certified drinking water quality, I'm not lying. Just tap water, I'm not lying. Fancy bottled drinking water does not have safety testing, except for the fact that it comes out of the tap so they know it's safe to begin with. What it does have is salt and sugar added to make it taste better, and usually it's sold to you refrigerated. You know what you're paying for? The most expensive part of the product is the lid. But the thing that costs the most money is shipping it to your house. These have a significant carbon cost. If you watch old movies or old television shows, when people are thirsty, they take a glass and they fill it in the faucet. Because we are one of the only countries on the planet that guarantees every person guaranteed drinking water quality out of the faucet. You're one of the luckiest few humans on earth, and somebody thought they should trick you into doubting it, and everybody goes, yeah, okay, because buying things must be better, so we pay a ton of money for causing more climate change by shipping one of the heaviest consumer goods on earth. In terms of the amount of carbon it takes to ship your stuff around, if you drink bottled water, the most climate change that you personally cause in transportation is moving that bottled water. It's the heaviest part of your consumer life. think it's really important that you remember the tap water is the only one that has certified quality. And if you have a thing about the chlorine, get over it. You can, first of all, take the lid off for about 12 hours and it'll evaporate. Or you can just make it cold and everything tastes better when it's cold. You don't need to buy a fancy refillable water bottle. I just found one of these this morning. You can find plastic water bottles everywhere. You can throw life out of trash. You don't need a fancy steel one. As a matter of fact, steel is a very, very difficult commodity to prepare.